Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and his British counterpart Keir Starmer signed a major new defence and security treaty on Wednesday in London. The deal aims to bolster British borders, tackle organised crime, boost collective defence and further deepen cooperation with the European Union.
We have deployed troops, NATO troops obviously. We will now train further together. We will share capacity together, develop complex weaponry together and invest in each other in terms of how we go forward. So this is really important in terms of a signal to the world of the strength of the relationship between our two countries.
Meanwhile, Tusk reiterated Poland's will to protect values he says the country shares with the UK.
A dla nas one pozostają ważne, ale też dla naszych narodów. Rządy prawa, demokracja, prawa człowieka, to poczucie solidarności z ludźmi, chęć działania na rzecz ich bezpieczeństwa i dobrobytu. To wszystko jest fundamentem tego traktatu.
According to Poland's Secretary of State of the Ministry of Defence, the agreement also offers clarification on military assistance in the event of a threat, technology transfer and cooperation on cybersecurity. The deal follows new treaties the UK has signed with Germany and France and is part of Starmer's strategy to rebuild ties with the EU following Brexit in 2016.
Officers from the Civil Guard's Central Operational Unit entered the national headquarters of the Socialist Party PSOE of Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez in Madrid on Wednesday. They followed a court order, the preliminary step to a formal search in connection with a secret investigation into Leire Diez, a member of the party already under investigation for influence peddling. A judge is investigating alleged payments linked to Diez, which are believed to be connected to CP, the Spanish state-owned industrial holding company, and its former president Vicente Fernández. The National High Court has also charged the party's treasurer, already under scrutiny by investigators, for the use of cash linked to other corruption cases surrounding the party and Pedro Sánchez's government. The Prime Minister, who was on a diplomatic visit to the Vatican on Wednesday, has stated that he does not underestimate the ongoing investigation and has assured that they will offer, in his own words, full cooperation with the court.
En este caso, bueno, pues aparentemente estamos hablando de un requerimiento, no estamos hablando de un registro. No quiero tampoco, minusvalorar la gravedad de la investigación que ahora mismo la Audiencia Nacional está teniendo en curso. Si hay, comportamientos irregulares, nuevos me refiero, pues actuaremos con la misma contundencia que hemos actuado antes.
No es la primera vez que la UCO entra en Ferraz, ya lo hizo el pasado 20 de junio de 2025, también por un requerimiento de información y no por un registro formal, en el marco de la detención de Santos Cerdán, el exsecretario de organización del PSOE. Se trata de otra de las tramas que rodean a los socialistas junto a la operación Tíbet, que afecta de lleno al expresidente del gobierno, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, por un caso de presunta tráfico de influencias y malversación de fondos. Javier Iñiguez, para Euronews, desde Madrid.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy insisted on Wednesday that he had not betrayed the trust of the French people in his final statement before the Paris Court of Appeal, which is retrying the case into allegations that the late Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi secretly funded his successful 2007 presidential campaign. Sarkozy was sentenced in September 2025 to 5 years for criminal conspiracy, becoming the first former French president in modern history to be imprisoned. He served 20 days in Paris' La Santé prison before being released in November under court supervision. He appealed the initial decision and prosecutors followed, seeking to revive the charges and impose a longer sentence of 7 years. The prosecution asked the 3 judges hearing the appeal to find Sarkozy guilty of corruption, illegal campaign financing, and concealing the embezzlement of Libyan public funds, 3 charges of which he was cleared at his first trial. A verdict is expected by the 30th of November. Hungarian lawmakers have voted overwhelmingly in favor of reversing the country's withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, which was set in motion last year by former Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's government. Prime Minister Peter Magyar submitted the bill on Monday and rushed it through legislature in a fast-track procedure. The ICC's legislative body hailed what they called an important decision after the government announced last Friday it would discontinue the process of withdrawal. Orbán announced Hungary's exit last year while hosting his ally Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In 2024, the ICC issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and other top Israeli officials over suspected war crimes and crimes against humanity committed in the war against Hamas in Gaza. Arrest warrants were also issued for several Hamas leaders. Magyar has indicated that Hungary would execute ICC warrants against anyone, even Netanyahu, despite inviting him to Budapest for later this year.
Five villagers stuck in a flooded cave in central Laos for more than a week were found alive, rescuers said on Wednesday. 2 others remain missing. The search for them is continuing. The villagers entered the cave on May the 19th, but heavy rains triggered flash flooding that blocked the exit and trapped 7 people, according to Lao anti-rescue teams involved in the operation. The cave is located in a rugged, remote area about 120 kilometers north of the capital, Vientiane. Rescue workers from neighboring Thailand arrived at the site over the weekend. Those helping include divers from several nations who took part in the complicated 2018 rescue of 12 schoolboys and their soccer coach, who were trapped for more than 2 weeks in a cave in northern Thailand before being safely extricated.
The heat wave affecting France and a large part of Europe is completely unprecedented and historic, the French weather forecaster said. Temperature reached 35 degrees Celsius near London and could hit 39 degrees Celsius in some areas of France. The British are facing the warmest May on record.
While I'm working in the kitchen, so it's atrocious.
In Paris, tourists adapt their visit amid an unprecedented heat wave.
In the first part of the day, everything is going well and interesting, but then I'm going to my flat and just sleep because I need to have more energy because it's so hot in this time.
Around 1,500 people died because of the heat in England last summer, Britain's health security authorities said. The Policy and Communications Director of the Grantham Research Institute says Britain will have to make changes to homes and businesses to make them less dangerous.
Well, we know that the temperatures we reached yesterday, which were nearly 35 degrees in London, unfortunately will likely have killed hundreds of people across the country. People with underlying health conditions, particularly respiratory illness, and they mainly die in homes that overheat.
The current heat wave is not an emergency, the French health minister said, though she urged the public to be cautious and follow safety guidelines.
Final preparations are underway in Budapest ahead of Saturday's Champions League final. Broadcast trucks are already arriving at the Puskás Stadium and local businesses are gearing up for the #1 tourism event of the year.
A két résztvevő csapat 17 000 jegyet kap a meccsre, de ennél várhatóan sokkal többen érkeznek majd. Az Arsenal egyik játékosa, Declan Rice azt kérte a londoni drukkerektől, hogy legalább 200 000-en utazzanak el a magyar fővárosba.
Experts in tourism say Budapest can expect at least 200,000 fans to descend upon the city.
Budapest esetében ekkora terhelés turisztikai szempontból nem nagyon volt még. Itt foglalási adatokat tudunk nézni, árakat tudunk nézni, booking adatokat tudunk nézni, repülőtérforgalmat tudunk nézni, ami azt mutatja, hogy egy olyan plusz 200-250 000 ember érkezik pár napra Budapestre, ami jelentősen befolyásolja az itt élőknek a mindennapjait, illetve a turizmusból élőknek a bevételeit.
According to Budis, the transportation network will be under enormous pressure. Locals would be wise to avoid the area around the stadium.
Vannak a direkt bevételek és vannak az indirekt bevételek. Ha mindent összeadunk, akkor körülbelül olyan 20 milliárd forintos extra bevételt jelent. Ez nyilván kiadást is jelent a szervezőknek, a fővárosnak, stb.
Data shows that accommodation and flight bookings have reached roughly 250% of the usual amount. Weekend flight prices from the home cities of the two finalists, Paris and London, start at around €500 one way, while hotel rooms still available for a single night are priced similarly. Local football fans were allocated just 4,600 tickets for the Champions League final, while ticket prices ranged from around €70 for the cheapest seats to as much as 3,500 for the most expensive ones.
NASA has outlined the next steps in building a lunar base. It has released details about the robotic landers, drones and rovers it plans to send to the moon. The United States wants Americans to return to the moon before President Donald Trump's term ends in 2029. The US Space Agency is under pressure to win the new space race. NASA is competing with China to get humans back on the moon's surface.
So we are discussing 3 moon-based missions and a series of additional awards with more missions to be announced in the months ahead. Now, Moonbase 1 will be the first privately funded lunar lander mission in history.
Jeff Bezos' space company Blue Origin is one of the companies selected to manufacture the spacecraft.